Hi fellow logicians, welcome to the Logical Christ channel where we evaluate logical argument that would help us apply logic to arguments presented. Now, here's the logical argument we will evaluate. Premise 1, adoption is a good thing. Premise 2, in Islam, adoption is abrogated. Conclusion, therefore, in Islam, a good thing is withheld. Sit back and relax, we will be back after this short intro. Here again the logical argument. Premise 1, adoption is a good thing. Premise 2, in Islam, adoption is abrogated. Conclusion, therefore, in Islam, a good thing is withheld. More than a humanitarian act, adoption is seen as a good thing which provides loving homes for orphan children in need. Here's a video clip illustrating how adoption is a good thing.
Are you all ready to make the commitments that people make when they adopt?
Yeah, I'm glad to be this. This is really the best thing I ever had. I can't wish, if I wish anything in the world, I just wish that I could just love these people for the rest of my life.
If I had any doubts, they're gone. Sean, I'm going to ask you first if you'll approve the adoption.
I'd officially say yes.
And we need Michael. Do you approve? All right, would you show us?
Now for premise 2 argument. Islam abrogated adoption based on Quran 33, 4-5, that says, Allah has not assigned to any man two hearts within his chest, nor has he made your wives whom you declare unlawful your mothers, nor has he made your adopted sons your sons. That is your saying with your mouths, but Allah says the truth, and he guides to the way. Call them by their fathers, that is more just in the sight of Allah. But if you do not know their fathers, then they are your brothers in religion and close associates. And there is no blame upon you for that in which you have erred but what your hearts intended. And ever is Allah forgiving and merciful. Also from the Hadith, the narrative surrounding Zayd ibn Haritha is often cited in conjunction with the Quranic verses to illustrate the abrogation of the practice of adoption. Here's a clip where a sheikh explained adoption is prohibited in Islam.
There is no adoption in Islam. Adoption, people understand that he becomes our son, and he carries our names, and he inherits our wealth. And this is totally prohibited in Islam. We cannot call someone other than his father's name, his original father and family name. We can sponsor an orphan. So we take him in, raise him in our family, like one of ours, take care of him, educate him, feed him, clothe him, give him a shelter. This is totally legit and permissible.
Following the arguments, we can logically accept the conclusion that based on the teachings of Islam and prohibiting adoption, that Islam withheld a good thing. Here is another spin of the same logical argument. Premise 1, adoption is a good and loving thing. Premise 2, Allah prohibited adoption. Conclusion, therefore, Allah is not good nor loving. Here's a clip explaining why adoption was abrogated from a non-Muslim perspective.
Muhammad used the Quran to solve his own problems, satisfy his own desires. Remember, if the Quran is uncreated, that means these issues dealing with Muhammad were always part of the uncreated speech of Allah. So what did Muhammad do? Chapter 33, verse 37 of the Quran. Chapter 33, verse 37. Now, Halali Khan will put comments in parentheses. All right. And remember when you said to him, now they have to add comments in parentheses because without it, you won't have any idea what the hell this is talking about. Remember when you said to him, now remember, this existed eternally. That means Allah already in eternity is saying to himself, remember when you, Muhammad, said to him, Zayd bin Haritha, the freed slave of the Prophet, salad dressing be upon him, saw him in half, SAW, saw him in half, on whom Allah has bestowed grace by guiding to Islam, and you, O Muhammad, saw him in half, salad dressing be upon him, have done favor by manumitting him. So remember, Muhammad, when he said to him, keep your wife to yourself and fear Allah. But you did hide in yourself. You kept within yourself what Allah has already made known to you. See, I already made this known to you, Muhammad, that he'll give her to you in marriage, that which Allah will make manifest. You did fear the people. You were afraid of what people were going to say about you more than what Allah had commanded. That Muhammad saw him in Av, salad dressing be upon him, married. Now watch, they're telling you what this is about. Parentheses not in the text, but they're explaining. Married the divorced wife of his manumitted slave, whereas Allah had a better right that you should fear him. So when Zayd had accomplished his desire from her, i.e. divorced her, we gave her to you in marriage, that in future there may be no difficulty to the believers in respect of the marriage of the wives of their adopted sons, when the latter have no desire to keep them, i.e. they divorce them, and Allah's command must be fulfilled. Now let me explain to you if you haven't heard this before. The Muslim sources say Muhammad adopted a freed slave named Zayd ibn Haritha, made him his son, adopted son, around the year 635 AD. So Zayd was called Zayd, the son of Muhammad. Fast forward to Medina. Muhammad was in Mecca when he claimed to be a prophet, 610 to around 622 AD. So fast forward, let's say 30 years later, Muhammad's son, adopted son, married Muhammad's cousin Zainab bin Jahsh. The Muslim sources say, you need to listen to this, the Muslim sources say that Muhammad went to the house of Zayd and he wasn't there, and he saw Zainab without her covering. And as he turned away, she heard him say, praise be to Allah who turns the hearts. He started lusting for her. Watch here. According to Yunus bin Abdul Ala ibn Wahab ibn Zayd, who said the Messenger of God had married Zayd bin Haritha to Zainab bin Jahsh, his paternal aunt's daughter. One day, the Messenger of God went out looking for Zayd. Now there was a covering of haircloth over the doorway, but the wind had lifted the covering so that the doorway was uncovered. Zainab was in her chamber, undressed, and admiration for her entered the heart of the Prophet. He started lusting for his own daughter-in-law because she's married to his adopted son. After that happened, she was made unattractive to the other man. Allah made her no longer desire her husband. But then it gets worse. When people started mocking Muhammad, saying, how dare you, man? What a filthy, immoral thing to do. You took your adopted son's wife? What a filthy thing to do. You know what Muhammad did? You guys want to be shocked? He then abolished adoption. In chapter 33, verses 4 and 5, in chapter 33, verse 40, Allah said, no more adoption. Stop calling your adopted sons your sons. Name them after their fathers. They're your brothers. No more adoption. So to save face, Allah then abolished adoption.
Finally, after our evaluation of the premises, we have a solid logical argument that Premise 1, adoption is a good and loving thing. Premise 2, Allah prohibited adoption. Conclusion, therefore, Allah is not good nor loving. What do you think, my fellow logicians? Comment down below.
Thinking with Logical Christ.